remember as you were speaking, we stayed at one of the abbeys or wherever it was. I don't exactly remember, but I was out having a cup of coffee in the courtyard, and two pastors came out, and they were whispering back and forth to each other, and I just kind of leaned an ear, which is being nosy. But I heard them say, "We can't offend anybody. We have to negotiate this thing very, very carefully." And I spontaneously got super, super angry because it dawned on me, was Christ worried about it? No. The only way to make those changes was to be confrontational. And they were not taking the initiative.
Look what happened in the Catholic Church with all the abuse. Nobody wanted to offend anybody.
Even today.
It continues on.
Well, so let's change our belief. So, is this where we begin to learn to So, your conflict.
If you hadn't noticed, she's doing everything she can to avoid you.
Beat around the bush.
Thank you. That's the easiest one you ever had, huh? So, here's a question. I don't know the answer. We're going to figure it out. Do we start by changing our belief?
No, I think that, Kathy, as I look at that, start by, what is that?
Changing our beliefs?
Changing our beliefs. I think it's more standing on and being confirmed in our beliefs.
Of?
I guess I would have to say it's going to start by listening. If you're not listening, the conflict will continue. And it means an understanding of where somebody's position is, and maybe an understanding of where your own is. But that's what creates a huge conflict. Is I'm right. I'm standing on what I believe. Well, you haven't even heard what we're arguing about. It's.
But to take that risk of even trying to go there to listen instead of hiding. Is there something that comes first?
Yes.
Go.
It's identifying the reasons that you do not want to enter into the process. Those beliefs. Not what do I believe and what do I want to argue about.
They come, fallacious beliefs.
What do I believe about conflict that I need to get rid of so that I can begin to participate in it?
So
for me, it's a belief that generally everybody has a kernel of truth. And starting with that belief allows me to be open to listening and understanding where that other person is coming from.
Because eventually you have to get the truth to build on.
Or you recognize there may be more than one truth.
So you guys are so smart and so fast. All I've got is the question written down. I've lost you. So what have you said? Is this what we're working on right now? Yes. Okay. Listen. Decide to listen. Decide to listen.
I said I need to identify the things that I believe about conflict that are wrong and get rid of those. For me, someone said it already, conflict is negative. It's bad.
Okay.
I have that belief ingrained in me.
Well, also, I think
like I'm thinking about my husband and I and how he was raised. They never raised their voices in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just the opposite. My parents were like Italians, but they were German and Dutch, and they'd yell and scream at each other. So the first year of marriage was horrendous for him. He thought I wanted a divorce every time we had an argument. And he really would almost get physically sick. He really would. And it was really bad. And so we've always kind of had a hard time because I get emotional when I, and he shuts down. So that's a big problem that we have between us. We can't really talk and express ourselves the right way. I just get emotional, and it's part of me. And it's like, okay, so he hasn't ever had that, but why can't he still engage in conversation with it
So you're
if I'm emotional?
what
So
I'm
I don't
hearing
get that.
What I'm hearing is you're conflictual with his style.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not just, we need to do this, let's do it differently. It's going deeper.
Yeah, and I think he wants to go deeper because I think that's how you get closer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he gets so turned off because of the process or just the style. But that's just who I am. So
if counseling, in a counseling situation, we can't walk in with our greatest 6 steps and say, do this and it'll be okay. We have to go deeper with the eye surgeon's tools, remember? With little questions to discover that it's not just a style difference. You're conflicted with his style. And
well, no, I don't mind if he doesn't get upset. I just want to get upset. You know what I mean? I don't care if he gets upset or not.
So he's conflicted with your style. And
yes.
You don't know what to do with your stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he walks out of the room. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he won't engage with it. Mm-hmm. So it is a control thing.
Well,
I think he would admit it.
Be careful. Don't put the eye surgeon
maybe he's
away too fast.
Maybe he just can't handle it because he was never raised that way.
Maybe he's triggered. Maybe he hears, "I don't love you anymore."
Okay.
The counselor might say, "Have you ever asked him why he walks out of the room?"
He wouldn't say anything. He just shuts down. Okay. He won't engage. He just, it's like, I just will not do that. So
right.
It might be because of our first year of marriage, because it was,
The counselor might ask, "I wonder what your husband would say if you asked him, how would you like me to show you I'm upset?"
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Mm-hmm.
So the point is, you get low, you get deeper and deeper, lower and lower, more basic and more basic. Because you're trying to open. If you're going to do conflict resolution, you're going to try to open up a dialogue of some kind. So
that's good.
So
it's a good to say a question.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To ask
of course,
a question
not when the,
and make
when the
him
crisis
think.
is happening. Of course, we know that. That's basic.
Yeah.
It's after one sip of wine, not 2 glasses, because then it can get dicey to talk about things. But
and
thank you, counselor.
And it's like
thank you
both
for role playing.
You both continue to do the same thing that does not work.
Right.
You continue to scream, and he continues to shut down. So that's what you have
I don't
to
really
work on.
scream. I raise my voice.
Well, but he hears it. He probably hears it scream. My husband's like that too. He gets very emotional, and I've learned how to handle it. But I had to change. I couldn't stay the same.
I still have a friend that I met when I was 5 years old. Don't count the years, please. And I would visit her house, and they talk in big voices.